Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Rachel, the Student Witch. How are you doing? How is your day going? Well, I was just standing in front of my altar, just kind of basking in its glory. And I was thinking about the candles that I have on my altar and their role, or the part that they play in my spellcraft and in my ritual, and even on their symbolism on my altar space. And I was just having all these wonderful witchy thoughts, and I thought, oh my goodness, I should record myself because this would make a great tools of belief video. So a while ago, I think back when I was still living in the US, so probably early 2019, I decided I wanted to start a playlist on my channel of just fairly short witchy videos, fairly short for me being 15 minutes or less, because I can nerd out about a lot of stuff, but basically fairly short, 10-15 minutes at most, kind of videos talking about the tools, the paraphernalia, the toys and fun bits that I get to use in my practice and what they symbolize and the role in my practice and all that kind of stuff. Just, just an excuse to nerd out and to witch out. So anyway, I started that playlist a while ago. I think I have a few videos, maybe one or two. I'll have it linked up here in the cards, but also in the description box below. But because of the move to Chile and getting busy with grad school stuff, I haven't added a video to it in quite some time, and now I think it's the moment. So let's talk about one of my favorite witchy tools, and those are candles. And one of my favorite kind of spell crafting techniques is using candle magic. And I apologize for the lighting in here. It's not the best, but we're in the afternoon and now the sun is kind of shifting, so this room doesn't get very good lighting, natural lighting anyway, but I think it's good enough for this video. So let me just show you the 3 spots on my altar where I keep candles, and kind of give you not really an altar tour, but kind of a discussion about each of these 3 candles and the aspects that they work with in my practice and what they represent. And I think that might give a good overview of my general overall overarching feelings and thoughts about candles and candle magic. So this black candle back in the corner, I don't know if you'll be able to tell, but I have it engraved. I actually set this candle up this morning, and I kind of scratched that pattern on there for me. So this candle is more of a symbolic oriented candle for what it represents, and it is simultaneously, well, it's 3 things all at once. It's a very it's a trinity candle in the sense that it represents the element of fire, because in this corner I have earth, air, water, and then this guy would be fire. So that's one thing. The second thing is that it is very much an axis mundi candle for me. So I have a particular kind of symbol that I use that's playing on the sign of the cross. I was raised Catholic, so doing the sign of the cross at the beginning and at the end of prayer and during Mass and stuff is just a very natural movement for me. So I've kind of reappropriated it to symbolize, as above, so below, as before, so after, and then I draw a spiral spiraling out, because I finish it with as within, so without. So it kind of helps me to anchor myself as an axis mundi, the axis of the world, the center axis of the universe through which everything flows, right? To get into that magician mindset, to really get into the ritual mindset, and perform spell work and magic. So it's an Axis Mundi candle, and lastly, it's just a general kind of altar candle. I know I've seen quite a few altar tour videos in my time, and most people just have a general just candle that either just kind of marks the altar as sacred space, or they use the color of the candle as, you know, protection during circle or during spellcraft or while they're in their ritual. And so that's kind of the purpose of my altar candle. So it's those three things. Now, let me get off my knees. My knees kind of hurt kneeling on these wooden floors. Hashtag tall people problems. As you can see in here, this is actually like almost said green, a glass lotus kind of votive candle holder. And so I actually use tea lights every morning. And before I light the tea light, I go to my tarot deck that I'm working with at that time, and I usually switch out my tarot decks every you know, at the completion of every moon cycle, so usually at the full moon, sometimes at the new moon. But anyway, I do my daily tarot drawing, and so I draw my card, and then I write some notes for that day for what I think the card's message is, and then I light the candle and I feed it with some of this stuff. Aumerio. That means this is like fortune. I got this at a witchy store, a very spiritual, multicultural store in downtown Santiago on San Antonio Street, actually Calle San Antonio. On that street, there's a lot of kind of spiritual oriented shops. The place where I bought my tarot deck, the Golden Botticelli tarot, was on that street. Right across from it was this place called Krishna, and that's actually where I got these two candles and the votive candle holder. And it's an eclectic mix of mala beads, candles for Santeria, and actually Umbanda practitioners. Like the first candle I got, I didn't know that it was specifically for like Afro-Brazilian entities and spirits and whatnot. I had no idea because I wasn't paying attention. I just liked the fact that it was red on the top and then black on the bottom. The color suited my spellcraft. So I didn't notice it actually had this attached to it until I got home, and it's Pombagira or Pombagira. I think would be how you say it in Portuguese. My Portuguese is so rusty, y'all. Anyway, and so it has a prayer for her and explains like her focus and her powers, but I had no idea. But I got it in this place called Krishna. And so they have Indian and Buddhist stuff, candles from all over the place, herbs from all sorts of different types of practices. It's amazing. And so I wanted to try this saumerio, this herbal mix, which is meant to be burnt. And there's no ingredients list on this thing. But I like that it was geared towards Fortuna, and so I kind of worked with that in my mind and made it into my daily offering to feed that day's votive candle, so that I manifest the wisdom given to me by the tarot. So that's my little like morning divination, and it involves this little tea light that I burn every day and feed with these manifesting herbs, right? And so if this is like a general altar candle and also ritual, sanctifying ritual mindset and ritual space kind of candle, this is definitely a kind of quick little magic on the fly. I'm going to manifest today's wisdom and get shit done. It's just, it's a little quick manifesting kind of spell candle work. The same type of work that you would use like birthday candles, because they don't last a long time and you just want like the burst of energy to go out there and kind of feed your work that you've got going on that day. You know, little candles like that or tea lights are great. Not the best for the environment, I have to admit. But until I find an alternative, I'll just have to stick with this kind of technique. And then finally, we have this candle, which is a spell candle that I have going on. And this kind of slow burn spell work, which I'll explain here in a second what I mean by that, is really my jam. And so I'm gonna have to like get into what I believe about, or what the flame of the candle symbolizes for me and how I work that into my spellcraft, specifically for a long-term spell. When I say long-term, that means the spell is going to last for as long as this candle lasts. And I only burn this candle in the morning during my morning ritual, and I only leave it on for a few hours while I'm doing work, while I'm working on my dissertation and that kind of stuff. So yeah, I don't have it on all day or all night. I do blow it out, so it's going to last a while. So for me, one of the most magical aspects of working with candles is the flame itself, because fire, you know, in English we have the term wildfire, right? The fire is wild, it's out of control. It's seen usually as a destructive force, even though it can make way for rebirth and all of that. You know, it might be essential for some ecosystems, right? But in general, it can mean destruction, or it is a threat. I mean, just look at the wildfire situation in California, right? Where people are losing, you know, their lives and also their property, right? But the candle, by its very nature, focuses that power, that very primal power of fire, right? And allows you to keep it under control. So you're still tapping into the power of not just viewing fire as an element or something more abstract like that. You're actually tapping into and controlling and focusing the real, you know, aspects of fire itself. You know, fire as a moment of chemical combustion, fire as a natural process. And so that focus and that control really helps me tap into a magician mindset, a ritual kind of mindset, where I really kind of embody the creatrix, the magician, you know, those kinds of archetypes, or just my power when I'm doing spellcraft, right? When I'm trying to manifest my will. And so the flame, I maybe it's just I'm a Sagittarius, I don't know, but the flame, the image of the flame, really, really jives with me. It helps me to just get there, get to where I need to be to get shit done when it comes to magic and transformation and all that kind of stuff. And so this candle right here, I'm tapping into that flame, that focus, power and energy to help me do some work. So yeah, those are my approaches to candle magic and candles. Let me know down below how you work with candles. How do you understand what is the role for candles in your approach to magic? Like, that is a really interesting question to me. So yeah, I'm gonna get back to work and do some dishes. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day. Comment below, and until next time, many blessings. Bye.